All right, guys, I made a new base here. This is the old tactical battle platform by G.I. Joe. Um, I have changed its colors quite a bit. I'm going to give you a flash of like the whole thing, and then I'm going to walk you through it all just to get into it. All right, yeah, there we go. That's what we're doing here. So here we go. Let's start off. This is Copperhead's Casino, is what I am theming this after here. So this is going to be, Copperhead has gambling problems, and this is him finding a solution to that. He's got a casino out in the swamp, and him and the swamp rats and Crocmaster and swamp vipers, they all hang out here and run this casino, and just kind of rip everybody off, and he makes his money that way. So here, this is what we got. This was the old tactical battle platform from GI Joe. I've turned it into a Cobra base. I've painted it kind of in Copperhead colors, except I put a pop of red in it. And let's just kind of get started here. So here is the the landing pad for helicopters and whatnot. I want to say right off the bat, I kind of wanted to kick it up a notch with painting and detail, so and kind of texture and stuff. So with this, I did a lot of like gradients with spray paint and speckles, and I put some washes on things and some dry brushing and stuff. So I did a lot of stuff like that. So first of all, we got this Casino Cobra logo there. And you can see I have painted this. Basically, this is a lagoon blue. It's called Lagoon. It's a spray paint, color name. It's the one with a 2X on it, Rust-Oleum, I think it is. That's what I use for all my stuff. And then I took this fluorescent green and just kind of dusted over top of it, so you get this kind of greenish color here. It's better. Here's a better example of this platform right here. Like it's blue, but it's got like this fluorescent green haze over it, which kind of creates like a real good color combination. This is the fluorescent green kind of on its own, sort of. What I did was I was messing with these colors a lot in the beginning. I thought I had it all planned out in Photoshop, and then I ended up, kind of making some changes as I put stuff together. In the beginning, when all the colors were just kind of solid, it looked very play school. They were just like, here's a big green thing, here's a big blue thing, here's a big red thing. And I ended up kind of dirtying it up later and making it look a little better anyways. But in the beginning, I made some changes. So like this thing was straight up fluorescent green. And I was like, that's too much. So I put this lime green color on it, which you can kind of see there. And then I didn't like that either. So I went back to fluorescent green. When I put the fluorescent green over the lime, it came up with this cool, like, cracking texture. And I was like, yes, I want to do stuff like that. So let me kind of focus on multicolor and gradients and one paint on top of another and all this stuff. So I did it. So here we go. This is kind of the missile launcher thing. This is a 3D printed piece because the one I came with, one of the little tabs was snapped off, so the thing was always just kind of rocking and loose. So I ordered this 3D thing, which is better in some ways, is not better in other ways. This hinge is real loose. If I just leave it, the thing will fall backwards, and the missiles, are firing straight up. And this thing was still kind of rocky, so I just glued it all into place. This isn't moving, and that's fine. Let's go back to the computer station here. I didn't do a whole lot with it. I kind of put a pop of red on the inside, and I put like a textured pattern around it with a stencil, which you'll see a lot more of when we get a little further into the video here. But I also had the glass frame that goes around it, but it is warped. So no matter how you put it, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides to it. I could only get like 3 in at a time. And, like the corner or something wouldn't fit. So it'd kind of be like lifting out. And I tried gluing it all in. I tried snapping it at that broken corner and gluing in 2 pieces and then another 2 on the other side and kind of fitting it together. And it just wasn't working. And in the end, the glass was so scuffed up and stuff anyways. I don't know. I kind of just figured I don't need it. It doesn't look that great. I got the crane over here. It does not go all the way in because I have replaced the legs of this thing with actual wood. So, yeah, it kind of doesn't. I could get some big drill bit or kind of scrape it out and get it down in there so that it sits, but it's fine. So there's our crane. Got this weapons room, which I kind of find this pretty useless. I mean, I guess it's just for the guns, which I don't have. I have 1/18 scale rifles and things I could sit in there, but I don't know. I don't care. This room kind of seems useless to me, and I meant to maybe get something to mount in there and stand it up, and in the end, I guess I just didn't. Sometimes these projects, when I'm done, I'm done. Yesterday, I was like, I don't want to work on this anymore, so I'm finishing this today, and that's the end of it. And like, it's not 100% finished, but yeah, it is. Because I say it's done, and I'm done with it. Yeah, I dirtied this thing up a lot. I got some gray on the inside and green on the outside. I put I kind of tried an attempt at wash, like black wash, which I think I forgot to actually wipe it off because you could clearly see it's like real stain back there. But I think it still kind of works. But I did also do a wash on this laser can, so you can see black on the end there. I did some dry brushing. I did paint markers, and this thing, rotates and swivels and everything, and that's fully functional. That's good. That's in good shape. Okay, so this is the Swamp Tactical Battle Platform. But now let's go down to, the next level. Let's get a little more into it here. So now we're going to go down to the second level. This is Copperhead's Casino. This is where you come to gamble. This is the spot. You go in here. We got a slot machine that works. Let's see how we do here. Let's get some big money, big money, big money. Oh, okay. Looks like we owe Copperhead. All right. Yeah. This was a pool table, obviously. I turned it into a little craps table. Slot machine back there. I got the Copperhead Casino logo that I just kind of made myself. These were 3D printed Bitcoin machines that I put Cobra logos over top the Bitcoin logo and found some video gambling machine screens and put them on there. I don't know, just busy screens. I got a poker table here with the game all set up and laid out. I don't have chairs for everybody. That was just one of those things where, I don't know. I can't find 1/18 scale chairs. I could buy 3D printed ones, but I get sick of buying stuff online and you got to wait for it. And sometimes by the time it gets here, you're not really interested anymore. So that's that. I do got these little lamp posts here, which are pretty slick. They are from the dollhouse furniture section at Hobby Lobby, which I spent a fair amount of time in on this project. I was at the dollhouse section a lot. There's not a whole lot of grown men shopping in the dollhouse section, so I was a rare one there, so that was good. I put some plant life all over this here. We got ivy, we got mossy vines. We'll see that as we go around. But yeah, there's that stuff dripping and wrapped around things here. These pillars, replace basically the old pillars, which I had. Well, here, I'll wait. No, here, let me show you. So these are the actual feet of the tactical battle platform. I believe they go upside down, and then you can adjust them and make these solid colors. They kind of slip out so that you can extend the thing. But as soon as I decided I was going to do the tactical battle platform, the first thing I figured I was just going to, get rid of these and replace it with real wood so I can make it like multi-layered. But I thought maybe I'd use these as crates in the background or mount a weapon on top or something like that. And I just ended up kind of not having use for them. I painted them up and got them all ready, but I didn't do anything with them. All right. But anyways, so yeah, these pillars, these are 2x2s. Oh, they're 2x1s glued together actually, but whatever, 2x2. We got our our casino logo there as well. We got kind of a stencil print on the pillars. There's a sign that says, you're on camera, surveillance action here. Got the checkered floor, got the checkered ceiling as well. I got mold and crud kind of dripping down from the pillars and growing around the base of it. I found this cool dirty checkerboard pattern that I like. And, this is it. I got these red curtains in the back, which are really just paper I cut out, but I printed it out in Photoshop and chopped it up, which, it would have been better if I had real fabric back there, but I don't really know how to take a piece of fabric and make it look like a beautiful, like red velvet curtain or something. I kind of tried and I was like, this is not even close. So I printed it out. Here is a second laser cannon, a third, octagon mounted weapon that came with the platform. It only comes with two, but I bought a third one here. I got this, kind of painted it differently, but yeah, it looks good. This little flap cracks open. You got stuff in there. I got this crackly pattern again that I was talking about earlier. Dry brush, black wash, paint marker, all that stuff. Over here, I made a ladder. That's another thing I got sick of looking for is like ladders. I just need a 1/18 scale ladder, and those are difficult to find. I had it on my last project. They made another base. If you haven't seen it, it was the G.I. Joe headquarters command center. I kind of reimagined that, and I did have some ladders on that. They came from some fire truck toy or something from 40 years ago that I just happened to find on eBay, and I didn't think I'd be able to do that again, so I just made one. These are just dowel rods, kind of snapped, busted up and glued together. Got some shutters from the dollhouse furniture section, of course, as well. Oh yeah, and then over here, I have, this is pretty cool. This was a watchtower and part of the Havoc, the cannon that the driver sits in at the top of the Havoc. So I ripped that off, screwed it down into it. It's stable. This thing's not going anywhere. This whole thing's not going anywhere. And it's kind of Copperhead colored and looks cool. I do have copper in there too, as well, as you can see. A lot of vines and stuff wrapped around the base of it. On my these are also. I have another one down on the other floor. I'll show you in a second. But yeah, these are left over from the other project I had, which from my previous video, I meant to put them in there, but I couldn't find a good way to stabilize them because they got these tiny little feet on them, and how you gonna secure that? So what I did was I got like a 1x1/2 piece of wood or something there, or yeah. And I drilled a hole up from underneath, drilled a hole into the floor from inside of it. You can probably see, see there's a little screw there that's drilled down into a piece of wood, and there's a screw, so a screw in the bottom coming up and a screw in the top coming down, and that just holds the whole thing in place. That's pretty solid. That's good. And I cut this little half circle out, so just to create a little more space. I also have one in the front, which I really didn't use it for anything. I kind of thought of I wanted to have a nice little dirty red velvet chair, like some old Victorian looking chair, with a shotgun on the floor, like kind of leaning against it, and that'd be like Copperhead's spot where he sits and watches. But if I did that, it kind of blocks the, the view of everything too much. So, and again, I guess I just didn't feel like. It's not that I didn't feel like it, but I look around for a long time and I don't find it, and I start getting frustrated. I go shopping and I can't find it. Online, I can't find it, and eventually I just kind of say the hell with it. But yeah, I think it's good because then you can see straight in. So this is the casino. Everything is glued down except this table and this table. No good real reason for that. It's just, again, I'm done working on it, so I'm done. I'm making this video here, and then I'm gonna take the whole thing and put it somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe just in a closet or something. I might leave it out on display for a little bit, but in the end, I don't know what's going to happen to this thing. What am I gonna do with it, really? But it's fun to make, and then I got a video, so it's always kind of, it's saved. All right, but yeah, this thing looks pretty cool. I got there's another. Yeah, I'll just give you a little look here again. We got another surveillance sign over there. Saw machine. Okay, let's go down to the next level. So to get down here, you got to get in this little ladder, which came with a tactical battle platform, and then you jump down under this thing, and then you're inside here. So this is kind of like the bar area. After you've lost all your money, you can come down here, and if you get 15 bucks left in your pocket or so, you can buy a beer and drown your sorrows, and then you're expected to leave. This is paying customers only, losing customers only. So this is the bar area. This says welcome to the swamp. I got photos of kind of the swamp family here. We got Copperhead. I got the swamp rat. That photo right there made me really like swamp rats. I bought a figure. It's not nearly as cool, but if they made that in classified and it looked anything like that, that'd be badass. Crocmaster, he's a nut. He kind of carved his name into the wall there. We got Crocmaster over here, and we got a swamp viper. Swamp vipers are kind of a stretch. They look more like pilots or something, but that one in the photo is actually green. The other two, I'm aware of 3 of them. The other 2 don't look anything like they belong in the swamp, so I don't even know why they're called that, but whatever. So we got some little stools, from the dollhouse section, and I got a moldy bar, and no loitering. We got a little lantern over here, and then I got this little electrical box here. This was also supposed to go in my first headquarters project I did, but it took too long to get in the mail, so I just never did it. Never put it in there because I was done with it. But I put it here, and I'm not sure. Trying to get a little. I don't know. I'm trying to focus on it, but yeah, it just says warning, high voltage. And I got some conduit running up the sides. Those are just dowels and some little fitting or fixture I found somewhere in my toolbox. I don't know what it is, but yeah, you just find stuff, and you can end up putting it into your projects, which is cool. This is the dock, which we'll get more to that later, and then I have another watchtower here that was also left over. This one is looks cool. That is also stable. You can see down here better, like what I was talking about, where I had that wood block kind of in there, just holding it in place. But yeah, that looks good. Well, got some greenery. Oh, I got the watch out for snakes, and have a broken wall here, and some vines wrapped around it, and heavy staples holding it in place. Then I also have this big kind of snake feature, which is just part of the look of it, but it's cool. The snake was one of the last things I did. I did this yesterday. And there's one other thing I'll show you that was the very last thing I did. But yeah, here the flooring looks cool. I got the stencil on here. There's actually two stencils. One of them's kind of like a chunkier one underneath, like the yellow. You can see kind of like these big hunks of it, and then over here you get these big chunks of bluish green. That was one stencil, and then you kind of got this cool like snakeskin camo pattern over top of it. There's some dice. Oh, it's almost snake eyes. And then the ceiling is kind of there's another pattern painted over it. And then I hung this netting on there, which I just think makes it look like mossy and scummy and swampy. I had, dreams of making it kind of like this elegant swooping thing where it's, got like a nice look to it. But in the end, when you're up here with a big staple gun and you got stuff glued into place and you're just trying to cram your hand in here, the elegant factor, kind of just went out the window. But it still looks cool. You could hang guys from it. You could probably, throw a couple weapons in there or something if you wanted to. And, hey, you got to watch out. There's alligators in the area, okay? So watch out for that. So here's kind of like a good look at the whole thing. This is Copperhead's Casino. Swamp Casino, 3-tiered. Enter at your own risk. And it certainly wouldn't be, a full base without some vehicles. So this is sitting at water level here. So you can see that, all of a sudden we have a, kind of a little night landing raft ripoff by Leonard that can park right there. And that's fantastic. Guys just jump in there after you lose your money and you head on out. And then we also, of course, have, a big one pulling in over here. This is going to be the card shark. This is the water moccasin, of course, that I've kind of just repainted. I had everything for this. I think it came complete with the exception of it's missing like a little gun right here, but I put this here instead just to give it something, which this is from the Swamp Masher, which I just felt a swamp, let's get a little something in for it in there. All right, let's watch it pull in again. Ready? Yeah. They're rocking a little bit from the water and the action. All right, but then you park in there, and there you go. And then one more thing. Let's go up to the top level, and let's see. Coming in for a landing is the fire bat. This is the last thing I got. I just got it in the mail yesterday. I took it all apart, painted it, and now it is called the Pit Boss. I got the logo on there. We got a little sign on the side says, "Don't get caught. Don't get caught cheating, or this thing's coming after your ass. You think that thing can't find you in the swamp? You are dead wrong." So, yeah, I didn't realize what a cool like crowning piece that would be in the end. It really kind of just makes the whole thing. So here it is. This is my Copperhead's Casino. Hey, if you want to watch my other video that I made another base on, go check it out. It's just the previous video I made on the same channel, or I will put one of those cards at the end that shows it so you can click on it. But yeah, hey, thanks for watching, guys. G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe.